Hi everyone, welcome to another crochet haul video on my channel. I'm going to be showing things that I have crocheted in the last 2 months, and I'm going to be talking about how much the yarn cost, what the difficulty level is for every project, how much I'm going to be selling them for at craft fairs, and I will be linking the patterns in the description. The first thing is actually the sweater that I'm wearing. It's just a hexagon cardigan that I sewed up the front to be a pullover sweater. I use Big Twist yarn, which is Joanne's brand, and if you've watched my past crochet haul videos, then you'll know that that's my favorite brand of yarn to use. And there ended up being a really good deal on Big Twist, and I think there still is. I can just open the app and check. So I got big. They're called pound, and they're like over 1,000 yards. So they're big bundles of yarn for only $6.99 on Joann's. They're still having the sale. Regular Big Twist is $2.50, and then the 1,000 yard ones are $6.99. So I got a bunch of those in a bunch of colors, and that's what I've used for most of the things that I'm going to be showing. I'm really sorry about my voice in this video. I lost it early in the week and I'm still recovering. Anyway, I will link the tutorial for the hexagon cardigan, and then you just sew it up the front. I don't know if there's a specific tutorial for doing a pullover, but that's just what I did. Hexagon cardigans, I think I've said in the past, that are they're very beginner friendly, and I think the hardest part about it is sewing. And it's actually not that much sewing, but it's just kind of annoying. But as long as you can do granny squares, which usually everyone can, it's just a granny hexagon, then you should be fine making something like this. This is just, I didn't even add cuffs or anything, so this is just 2 hexagons sewn together. Next is this ribbed sweater. It's in the color ivory. It's Big Twist as well. So I actually freehanded that sweater. I don't have a pattern link for it, but it is inspired by let me check on Instagram what it's called. The obelisk sweater on the Cozy Knots Instagram page. I saw this a while ago and I really liked it. I really want to try it myself, but I can't read patterns. I can only watch video tutorials. So I think this person is selling the pattern, so I can link their Instagram in the description if anyone is interested in reading the pattern. But like I said, I freehanded this. If anyone is interested, I can try to do a video tutorial for it. I've never done a video tutorial before for crochet or for anything, but if anyone's like me and can't really read written patterns, then I'll be able to do that if anyone asks. This is like, I think the 4th one I've made of this. I did test out a couple different neckline options, so some of the ones I made earlier do have the ribbing neck as well, like in the picture, but all the ones I made before this sold at craft fairs. I made an olive green one, a light pink one, and one that's kind of like this color except a little darker. It was a cream color. I sold them for $40, and they all sold really fast. The olive green one actually sold before the craft fair even started that day. I was still setting up my booth and everything, and someone came. The craft fair started at 11. They came at like 10:45. I took it off my rack and bought it immediately. So these do draw attention at craft fairs, and everyone is very interested in them, and they sell very easily. So to make these up to a 2x or 3x, kind of in the middle, is the highest I've made. You only need 4 skeins of regular Big Twist yarn, and right now, like I said, they're on sale for $2.50, so 4 skeins is only $10. So I made this for $10, and I've been selling them at craft fairs for $40. Obviously, it wouldn't be that bad if you sold it a little bit higher. My family recommended that I sell it at least $45, but I just like to keep my prices lower, so that it can be affordable for everyone. So if anyone is interested in me doing a video tutorial for that pattern, I will try my best. Next is a just black and hot pink heart sweater. If you've seen my videos in the past, you know that I love a heart sweater, and I am getting better and better at making them. I've said in the past that I struggled with pricing these because I originally was doing $75, and that seemed to be high for some people, but it did sell at $75 a lot of times. But there were some comments at craft fairs as well, some negative comments about it. I dropped it down to $65 eventually, and they sold at $65 as well. But now that I've gotten really good at them and I don't find it as hard to make them, and I'm making them faster and faster, I decided to go down to 55, but that's like the final price that I'm gonna go down to. So this is still probably my most expensive item that I take to craft fairs, but it's gonna stay at 55. And like I've said in previous videos, the difficulty level for the heart sweater is definitely way more than beginner in my opinion, even though it is, I realized when I was recently watching the video tutorial, it's like marketed or targeted for beginners. She says in the video that it's for beginners, but to be honest, it's not a very beginner friendly pattern, not because of the person who made the pattern and who does the tutorial. She's really good at making video tutorials. It's just like a hard pattern. The hardest part, it's not hard to make the hearts, the hardest part is to make the heart shape into a rectangle shape at the end to make it obviously be a sweater shape. But I started to get better at it. I only started to get better after I made it like 4 times. But I will be able to link that video tutorial in the description. Also, I forgot to mention the ribbed sweater, this one. Difficulty level, I'd say beginner. If you know how to do back loop only, because this whole sweater is ribbing, but that's all you have to do is back loop only. But if you know how to do a collar like this, like if you've ever done a collar onto a sweater, then that's the same technique that you use for the ribbing sweater. So if you know how to do that, then it's easy. And if you know how to do a sweater, like how to sew it together, how to shape it, whatever, it's pretty easy. I would say it's pretty beginner friendly if you've done a sweater before. Next, I have another heart sweater. Also, I forgot to mention, I've said on previous videos that I don't know how to control the sizing of this sweater, but I'm getting a little bit better at it because I use a bigger yarn size than the video does, and probably a bigger hook size too. So they always come out like a 2x if I do the whole entire like pattern without adjusting anything. But I've started realizing like what rows I can skip in order to make it smaller. So both of these heart sweaters that I have today are only a large, which is great. I'm glad that I figured out how to make it a little bit smaller, but the next one I make will be a 2x, just because I do like to bring plus size items to the craft fair all the time. But you'll see that a lot of my stuff that I have ready for today to show is this pink and ivory color. This is the same color as the rib sweater, and that's because I bought these in the Big Twist pound, like I said, for $6.99. I bought a bunch of those. I bought, I think, 3 skeins of every color. I'm actually gonna do a TikTok later on, so after I do that, I'll link it in the description, where I show every single thing that I made with the pink and the ivory. So all together, including, you know, 3 skeins of the pink, 3 skeins of the ivory, it was $42. And I've ended up making a lot of things, but I'm not done making things, so that's why I can't really explain it that much in this video. But I will link the TikTok when I'm done with it, so it might not be linked when you're first watching this video, but I will link it eventually when I finish the TikTok. This is the most talking I've done in like a week. And here we go with more of the same color. This is a Houndstooth stitch. So this is the first time I've ever used a Houndstooth stitch, and I think it's really, really cute. I didn't know, because I've seen the stitch before, you know, like in any type of sweater, any type of clothes, scarves and hats too. I didn't know it was a crochet friendly stitch. Like I didn't know crochet makes that stitch, is what I mean. But actually it was really, 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 really easy. It's just alternating between a double crochet and a single crochet, like every other stitch, double crochet, single crochet, and then obviously like one row of one color, one row of the next color. So this is so easy. I think this stitch is really cute. Honestly, Houndstooth is not really my style, but even I, after I made this, was like, I would wear this. So I'm excited to try it in more colors. This is the only thing I have so far of Houndstooth. I didn't follow a sweater tutorial for this. I just followed a Houndstooth tutorial and then went from there. So I'm not sure if I even saved it, but I'll link, you know, you can look up any Houndstooth stitch tutorial. It's very easy to learn, I promise. So that sweater I'm also going to be selling for $40, just like most of my sweaters and cardigans. And like I said, that was part of the big skeins of the big twist, the pink and the white that I bought. I bought a ton of other colors, but not everything is shown in this video. My next crochet haul will have the rest of them. I bought a bunch of blues to make a blue-white sweater, so I'm excited about that. Next is just this regular sweater, no special stitch. Actually, it is a special stitch. I forgot. I think I mentioned this in my last crochet video that I was learning a stitch that is a linked double crochet, which means that you're making regular double crochets, but you're putting the needle into the double crochet. It's hard to explain. Into the double crochet you just made, so that the next double crochet you make is linked to that one. So every single one is linked, so that basically it's just making it so whatever you're making, such as a sweater, it doesn't have those gaps that double crochet usually has in between every stitch. It's just like, I mean, the stitches are linked, that's why it's called that. It's just like a tight knit sweater. So I was really excited to try that. I actually learned that from a TikTok video. I learned that stitch and then I applied it to this sweater. So I think I saved it, so I will link that in the description. This is the only thing I have that is not big twist, I think. This is a yarn called Bundle of Love, and so they have a version called Pound of Love, but Pound of Love is always just solid colors, and then Bundle of Love is variegated colors. So I really wanted to try this because it gave me Valentine vibes. So it's just light pink, light purple, like almost lilac, and white. Whenever I tried to take pictures of this though, the purple always looked blue, which is sad. I thought this was very Valentine-y. It sucks that I don't have craft fairs before Valentine's Day. I would really thrive at a Valentine's craft fair. But this is, I'm selling it for $40 as well. I have the tags on them already. The only thing I don't like about this sweater, which was my fault, was that I made it a little too cropped. I don't know if the whole thing's in frame, but I was just really worried about running out of yarn. I think next time I make a sweater, I'm just gonna do a new strategy where I make the sleeves first, because I always do this thing where I'm doing the body of the sweater and I'm worried that I'm not gonna have enough yarn to make the sleeves, and then I make the body of the sweater shorter than it needs to be. So there we go. So I will link that tutorial, and then it's just like a regular. I'll also link the sweater pattern that I usually follow, although I haven't been following it so exact recently because it's a pattern where you don't really create a collar, and now I've kind of started creating collars on most of my sweaters. But I'll still link it because it does explain like the basic like anatomy kind of a sweater, like the sizing of a sweater and how to sew it together, although I haven't been following that either. If I end up doing a tutorial for the rib sweater, then I'll be able to show how I make sweaters and how I sew them together. But really I'm only gonna make that if people actually want to watch it, because I don't know if I'm gonna be good at tutorials. So if someone's really interested in the sweater and really wants a pattern, then obviously I will try to make it. But I mean, if no one's interested, I'll realize it because no one's gonna comment if they're not interested. But if you are interested, then please do leave a comment. And then I ended up having extra of that yarn. Not that much though. I made a beanie and then there was none of the yarn left. I sell beanies for $12 at craft fairs. I originally was gonna make this a two-tone beanie because I love two-tone beanies, and make it sorry, water break. Make it half of this color and half of a lilac. But then the lilac I had didn't match this lilac, and I was like, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta go for the whole thing, and I think it came out really cute. My next thing is a ripple stitch sweater. It's hard to tell if things in the frame or not sometimes. So I think this is the first time I've done like uneven stripes, ripples on a ripple stitch sweater. Also, these two purples are not the same purple, the one on top and the one in the middle. I wasn't sure if that was obvious, but it definitely is looking obvious in the camera, but I think that it doesn't look bad. It does look kind of intentional. This whole thing was pretty much made out of scrap yarn. This is the pink that I have featured in most of the other sweaters. This is the cream color that I made one of the ribbed sweaters in that sold very quickly at a craft fair. I don't really remember what I had lilac for. So like most of the other sweaters, I sell them for $40. This is a 2X. I don't know if I sell the sizes of anything else. I really like to make ripple sweaters in 2Xs. I think they look like they suit that size really nice. Let me know what you think about the uneven stripes on this, because I had a vision and then I'm not sure if this was the vision, but I think I do like it. And next up, I have a baby blanket. I don't make blankets very often, but I applied my knowledge of a ripple stitch to the blanket. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get this whole blanket in the frame. Cute. So I made this brown because it is potentially a Winnie the Pooh themed nursery. This is for my cousin's baby, and I have twin cousins and they're both pregnant. They're both having babies at the same time, so I had to make another blanket as well, which I think I am gonna make another ripple stitch blanket. So basically the same thing. I may make it in the shades of blue because, like I mentioned, I'm gonna be making a blue heart sweater. I'm sure I'm gonna have leftover yarn. So that baby's a boy. I don't know what the nursery theme is though. That's the problem. I could just go with, oh, it's a boy, so I'm gonna make it a blue blanket, but really I would like it to match the nursery. I don't make blankets a lot anymore, but I really like the way this came out. When I used to make baby blankets for past babies in our family, my mom always said to make it like a little bit bigger than a baby blanket so that they continue to use it. And I feel like I took that advice too far, because then I ended up making like full-size blankets for babies. I prefer this size that I made. I think it's like a good size for them to continue using it into childhood, but like it's still a light enough blanket for them to use it as babies and like to put over the like car seat and stuff like that. And I just want to go back to the heart sweaters and talk about the amount of yarn that it took. I made them both in size larges, and I used the pound version of Big Twist, which is over 100 yards. It's probably like 1100. I meant over 1,000 yards. It's probably like 1100 yards. I could check on the app, but that's about what it is. So I ended up getting 2 blacks and 2 pinks, and I only needed 1 of each, and I still had leftover in both those skeins. So even if I was making this in a 2X, I would only need 1 pound Big Twist of every color. So just to reiterate, they were $6.99. I only needed 1, so I made this heart sweater for $14. Plus I'm making other stuff with the other color, the leftover yarn, and I was selling it for $55. The last thing that I want to show is Valentine's decorations that I have out in my house right now. So I'm just going to be taking you to the living room really quick to show you pillows that I made and other Valentine's decorations. These are heart pillows that I've made using the same pattern as the heart sweater, so I will be linking that in the description. This one I made reversible, and I used scrap yarn for all of these. And as you can see, I have leftover of the blue and the ivory that I'm working on other projects right now. Those are the starts of a sweater. This was a sweater that I took apart. And the last thing that I want to show is something that I actually made a couple years ago, which is a bobble stitch heart wall hanging. And I'm sure that I have that tutorial saved, so I will link that in the description as well. And the bobble stitch wall hanging only takes less than 1 skein of regular sized yarn. I think it is pretty beginner friendly. You don't have to sew anything. Learning the bobble stitch is pretty easy. It's just multiple double crochets inside one stitch. So I think that is relatively beginner friendly. So that's everything I have from the last couple months, besides the things that sold at craft fairs already. I am going to be making another crochet haul video probably around next month or a couple weeks, because I bought a lot of yarn when that Big Twist went on sale, and it's still on sale. So I have a lot of projects that I'm still looking forward to making. Other videos that I'm going to be doing, well, if anyone wants me to do that tutorial, let me know. I'm also going to be taking a trip next month with my mom to Universal, so I'll be vlogging that. So let me know what other kind of videos you want, and if you're not subscribed, then I would love it if you subscribed as well. Thank you for watching.